This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Former President Donald Trump is expected to travel to Florida today ahead of his arraignment tomorrow at a federal courthouse in Miami. Coming up here on Sunrise, we'll break down the latest in this case and the impacts it could have on next year's presidential race. Also this morning, we'll share everything we know about the man accused of driving through Saturday's Grand Floral Parade on Portland's east side before he appears in court later today. Leading things off here at 5 o'clock, a sunrise to remember. This is a live look this morning outside. It is a gorgeous start to this Monday morning. I will say, Christine Pitawanich, Brenda Braxton, Rodney Hill all have the day off.
They've got a big desk we can stretch out.
They're being replaced by one man, Chris McGinnis. So, Chris, let's talk about that sunrise and what is shaping up to be a very warm but nice day today.
Really nice day, yeah. And our first 9 p.m. sunset, by the way, of the soon-to-be summer, right? Let's get you out the door. Quick look from our Stoller Vineyard camera. Beautiful look at the silhouette of Mount Hood from Yamhill County. The Stoller Vineyard, of course, in Dayton, and that is just some pretty stuff. Right back to the Wells Fargo sky camera. Again, sun up in about 20 minutes or so. We are warm, 61 to start the day here in Portland. It's 58 in Vancouver, 54 in Hillsborough. And as we slide south, we're low to mid 50s. Pretty common here across the region. 57 in Canby, 55 in Salem. And one last check, the Oregon coast a little bit cloudy this morning as well. We missed the day planner, but I did want to point out that it's wall-to-wall sunshine with temperatures in the upper 80s this afternoon. Let's get you out to the roads real quick and a quick check of the ODOT cameras right now. We have I-5 up near Victory Boulevard. Anyone home? Anyone? Anyone? That points out that your drive is wide open for right now. No crashes, no unexpected delays. Drew?
All right, more traffic and weather from Chris coming up here in a few minutes. But right now, back to our top story this half hour. Preparations underway for former President Donald Trump's appearance this week in a Miami courtroom. The former president is expected to surrender to authorities tomorrow and face charges for mishandling classified documents. NBC's Bree Jackson has the latest for us from Washington, D.C.
Former President Trump heading to Florida just one day before his historic appearance in a Miami federal court. Trump spent much of the weekend lashing out against the investigation into his handling of classified documents.
The baseless indictment of me by the Biden administration's weaponized Department of Injustice will go down as among the most horrific abuses of power in the history of our country.
Special counsel Jack Smith unsealed a 37-count federal indictment against Mr. Trump, alleging he schemed to keep sensitive material, knowing many of the documents were classified. Trump's own attorney general weighed in.
I was shocked by the degree of sensitivity of these documents and how many there were, frankly.
On Capitol Hill, top Republicans are defending Trump.
This is the most political thing I have ever seen.
Sadly, that this is who he is, that he feels the law applies to other people, it doesn't apply to him.
Potential voters are also divided over the current 2024 GOP frontrunner's legal troubles.
I think it is very biased. We've got other presidents that have taken material and they're not being treated the same way.
I think at the end of the day, we need to let this go through the justice system and not make it a political spectacle.
The former president says he will plead not guilty. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Now to some of this morning's local headlines. The driver accused of causing this scene during Saturday's Grand Floral Parade on Portland's east side will appear in court later today. A witness took this video and posted it on Twitter. Police say 42-year-old Sidney Meacham was the driver of that truck, going around several barricades to get onto the parade route. It all happened around 10 o'clock, just a few minutes after the parade started on Saturday morning on Northeast Weidler near MLK Boulevard. Police arrested Meacham when he finally stopped near Northeast 24th and Clackamas Street. No one was hurt, but Meacham now faces a long list of charges, including reckless endangerment and driving, disorderly conduct, and attempting to elude police. According to the Oregonian, Meacham is also a registered sex offender, stemming from crimes in both Multnomah and Clatsop counties. His lengthy criminal history in Portland goes back more than 40 years to 1981. If you or anyone you know were in the path of Meacham's truck during Saturday's parade, you're asked to contact Portland Police. Portland Police also looking for some help to solve a string of thefts at the Southwest Community Center, located on Southwest 45th in Vermont. Officers say they've taken 8 reports of locker break-ins since January. Mara LeGrand is one of those victims. She says someone stole her keys and her wallet, then took off from the community center in her car with her dogs inside.
I wish Southwest Community Center would post something that says, do not leave anything valuable.
LeGrand says the thief that is, used her credit cards before she was able to cancel them. Southwest Community Center staff tells KGW that they do provide locks for those lockers for anyone who asks for them. Threats shut down a drag queen storytime event that was supposed to take place in Tigard on Sunday, but they didn't stop another Pride event from happening in Milwaukee. So this is a look at yesterday's sold-out drag queen bingo event at the Milwaukee Community Center. But back to the City of Tigard-sponsored drag queen storytime event that did not happen yesterday. Last Thursday, Tigard police canceled that event, citing safety concerns.
It's really disheartening, but, public safety is number one.
150 people bought bingo tickets for $50 each at that event yesterday in Milwaukee. Proceeds are going towards the Clackamas County Meals on Wheels program. All right, next stop this morning, our Rose City Skycam overlooking the Willamette River on this Monday morning. And we show you this shot because we want to remind you that Fleet Week is now over. And that means this morning, a lot of ships, big ships, are going to be leaving downtown Portland. And that means a lot of bridge lifts. So we have the details up there on the screen for you. 10 ships from the U.S. Navy, the Coast Guard, and the Royal Canadian Navy will all depart from downtown this morning. With all the bridge lifts, you should expect delays, and it's going to start here in just a couple of hours at 7 a.m. on the Broadway, Steele, and Burnside bridges. The ships are all expected to be gone by this afternoon. Now, Chris, as our resident traffic guru, you have covered this story many times over the years.
Been stuck in a bridge lift or two.
Does it ever go smoothly, or are we guaranteed to run into some issues?
A lot of the time, and we didn't pan the camera over enough to kind of get the full tour.
Right.
But sometimes they leave even like late last night. So the good chance, and we'll have to do that here in the next couple minutes, but there's a good chance that many of them are already out, right, and on their way. That said, you saw a couple of those Canadian ships right there on your camera. So yes, there are still a few more to get out, and that means, as Drew mentioned, bridge lifts. They are pretty cool if you have a minute to stop and enjoy during your morning commute, watching the massive Broadway bridge go up. It's kind of cool to see, but it's also kind of annoying. So just be forewarned. All right, we'll take you to the beach right now. Live look from Yaquina Bay, and we can see the Yaquina Bay Bridge off in the background. We can also see a little cloud cover along the Oregon coast this morning, and this just gets prettier by the minute. Look at the bottoms of the that high cirrus cloud cover that's passing over Mount Hood right now, starting to lighten up in those cotton candy colors right from the Stoller Vineyard camera, and the sky really brightening now from our Wells Fargo sky camera. Sun up in about 12-13 minutes or so. 61 right now in Portland. We'll slip south of the valley, mid-50s in Salem and Kaiser, and 52 in McMinnville, and a clear sky over western Oregon. We had some showers late yesterday across eastern Oregon. You again have at least the chance of some showers and maybe a rumble of thunder later today. East side of the state. West side of the state, any cloud cover at the beach burns off pretty quickly, and we go mostly sunny and warm this afternoon. Today will be the warmest day of the work week by a long shot. I've got temperatures in the valley getting into the upper 80s this afternoon. I'll stop the clock at 4. I also wanted to point out for anybody heading up into the Cascades, there is at least the chance for some thunderstorms from about Mount Hood and points south along the spine of the Cascades, and then also across eastern Oregon from Burns and up towards Baker City and into the Blues and the Wallowas there. We could see some afternoon thunderstorm development. Fast forward 24 hours into Tuesday. We'll get a pretty good marine push overnight tonight and into early tomorrow. So you can see the cloud cover, actually, our high-res modeling does a really nice job of picking up how that marine cloud cover pushes in through the gaps of the Coast Range, and then it butts up against the Cascades, and then it backfills, right? So that'll be the case tomorrow. We'll likely wake up to extensive cloud cover on Tuesday morning before the clouds finally push off to the east, and we finish the day with sunshine. So with that in mind, here's your 7-day forecast. As we mentioned, today by far the warmest day of the week. I've got Portland at 88 today, 58 tonight, and then widespread morning cloud cover both Tuesday and Wednesday with high temperatures only in the low to mid 70s. So we go into some really comfortable air for that part of our work week. And Drew, a quick check to next weekend. We do have a chance of rain both Saturday and Sunday. We'll try to fine tune that when, where, how much, and have a little more certainty as we get a little closer, but at least enough of a chance at this point to mention.
All right, we'll have more from Chris coming up here in about 10 minutes, but this story is coming up next here on Sunrise. A dying promise that was finally fulfilled. how one mom is making sure her son is remembered for his service to the U.S. after he had to leave the military because he was gay.